y'all, this is Cindy. I'm the tireless tangler. I want to welcome you back to the 100 Days of Zentangle Project 2021. Thank you so much for being with me today and each day on this journey. For today, I'm going to be working on a gray Zentangle tile, a gray toned tile. I'm going to be using a 01 in black, a regular graphite pencil, my tortillon, and probably a white charcoal pencil. All right, let's get started, and no shenanigans today. Shout out to all of you new guys who have never done one of these projects before. Thank you so much for giving it a try and having the courage to show up. All right, so zooming in, we are going to be using string number 17 on Tangle Patterns today, and that was submitted by Joyce Bruns or Bruns. I'm not sure how she says it. We also are going to be doing two tangles today. We're going to be doing Swerve by Jody Genovese, CZT, and we're going to be doing Ticking by JJ LaBarbera. All right, so let's draw this string and see if we can do a good job with it. And if we don't, oh well. So I'm going to do my squared off version of a border today. Hopefully I'm drawing darkly enough for you to see it. We're going to start having some truck noises out there. Whoops. Oh well, it'll be fine. Okay, so the string today is a curvy one, and it starts on one side over here, and we're going to make a big curve, sort of like a hump, and then it's going to curve up and around, sort of like this. And then over here, I'm going to have another one come up and down to the corner. All right, sort of like this. Now, this can be more curvy, less curvy, whatever you want. And again, this is on Tangle Patterns, string number 17, if you want to go look that up and see how they've got it drawn. But again, strings are suggestions. They're not rules, and they don't have to be all exactly the same. All right? Okay, so I'm going to take my 01. And I'm trying to decide, I think I'm going to start with Swerve. Swerve is a tangulation between the Zentangle original pattern Verve and sand swirl that we have done. And so it's all about the auras, okay? So Swerve begins with a slightly curved line, sort of a slight S curve, and a nice big ball on the end. Then you're going to draw in a little dot of highlight there. And of course you can put your highlight where you want, but Jody always puts it right there in that same spot, and then of course you know where it is. Okay, and the next step, we're going to aura this line, stalk line that comes down, or stem line. All right, so we're going to do that in front. Taking our time. I have been forgetting to breathe lately, so let's take a couple. One more, guys, come on. I should make myself take one for each day that I forgot to do that this week. Relax those shoulders. Get something that supports your elbow. So you have something like that. You want to go not quite to the edge there, but almost. All right? Is that close enough in? Now we're going to do the sand swirl thing, which is to come here. Well, I could wish that weren't so wide, but that's okay. And make a preferably careful aura around this. And then we're going to repeat that Well, I'm going to repeat it. I don't know what everybody else is going to do. And I don't know why that was necessary, Cindy. Well, you know, sometimes it just is. So this is our practice, and I want you to practice. Now, when Jody gets these situations where she has one that's a little too far away, she likes to add just a little bit of line weight there. Yeah, this is not so hard, right? I think the rest of these are going to be okay, at least for now. I may add some more later, but we'll see. Can't quite get that smoothed out. All right, let's make some more. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, the next step, we're going to start another aura, okay? But don't go all the way. We are going to come around here partially, and then we're going to go running around here, and we're going to make another of these balls right here, okay? And put that little highlight in there. Take my time when I'm inking. All right. When you've got that filled in just the way you want it, we're going to aura this. Now, we're not going to do the front auras unless, you know, you're in a situation where you feel like you need those. We don't. We are going to do the sand swirl kind of aura. So starting up here and going around. Now this line is going to curve slightly the other direction. Okay? And we're going to do another one. Taking our time. All right, now I'm leaving these gaps intentionally because I have trouble matching my lines up, hence my issue right here. So I'm just going to leave my gaps. That's what I've got to do. I can live with it. I'll put a couple more here. And again, the string is a suggestion, not a rule. So if I want to go outside of it, I will. Okay. So now let me look at this here. So we're going to make a little inked spot here that's just a little triangular sliver, just like we did down here. And that's sort of going to get everything turned the right way. And if any of the other ones aren't turned the way you want, you can sort of adjust that. Now, let's do another one. This one isn't going to go all the way. This one is just going to go like this. And this way you can turn them and sculpt them in whatever direction you want them to be in. Okay? Which is awesome. Now, I'm going to admit to you that I love this pattern. I love the way it looks when it is shaded, because there's a bunch of shading opportunities. The problem I have with this is these aura lines, and so I have up to this point chosen not to do it. But yeah. So in this instance, look what I've got here. If I go ahead and start my over auras, and I can, that's going to be a lot. And what I'm wanting to do is add these front ones. So maybe if I add just 2, and then start my over RS. So you're free to sort of mold this to the situation if that's what you want to do. And then here I'm already running into this, and that's good. We want them to sort of pack up nice and dense because these are the shading situations, right? Okay. Now I can put a new stalk. I can make a new one from here. I can put a small one from this. Let's try that. And then we'll be filling in. So you can see now, you don't have to draw these completely over the top. You can mold these however you want. And this one, I'm going to put one over the top and bring it out over here and continue, and probably add another one over here. So really you can do what you want, and whatever the situation, whatever the room that you have requires, you can make these turn in whatever direction. And the more that you have and the more densely packed they are, the more cool of an effect you're going to get. I really want to add some more in front. And there's no reason why you can't just fill in with lines if you're in this situation. You know, just do what you want. No rules, guys, no rules. Which is great for me, really great for me. I have never been a rule person. I've always been a person that wants my own, you know, my own sense of right and all that. So, I don't know. I think I'm going to aura in here. And then I'll decide what to do in there after a bit. And this one, I think I'm just going to round here. Sort of add some drama. So I think I'll go ahead and ink in here. Remember to make an internal aura before you do this. You don't want your drama and your pattern getting all mixed up, if that makes sense. There we go. Yeah, now this is looking cool, right? And you can imagine what shading is going to do for it. So let's see what I'm going to do here. Maybe not go so high up. These are all over the place, so I'm just going to keep putting it in that same place and let the rest worry about itself. Okay. I don't need any coming forward, I don't think. Meaning no aura lines from the front. I could fill this out a bit with aura lines in the front. I want to see how this looks this way. I'm trying to decide how much to respect the string line since I stepped over it over here. I definitely did. Let me think about that for a second. River, don't get started. I said no interruptions today, didn't I? I think I did. Whatever you got to do to straighten things out, that's cool. Now, I think I'll wait to figure this out a bit. And so I think I'm going to add one on over here. Let's add one. Let's add one. I know this doesn't give me any room for auras, but it's going to keep things densely packed and creates the possibility for overlap. Let's see what happens. We can overlap this. There's no reason we can't. So just draw behind in hollow ball fashion. Come on, Cindy, keep it under control. More under control. Okay, I'm liking that. Let's add another. We've got a helicopter flying over. There's a small airport close to us, so. All right. Okay, it's a little busy, but I can live with it, I guess, since I have to. Okay. Oh, thank you, buddy. Thank you. Oh, shush, shush, shush. Simba says hi to his puppy pals and his kitty pals. Hi, Periwinkle. Makes me smile. All right, Simba, calm down, buddy. That's what I say. And these turn as you move. As you aura the last one, the next one turns. I don't want you to plan where they're going. My only intention here is to pack them as closely as I can get them. I'm usually fairly successful with that, although it takes practice to overlap. Oh, that was a pretty aura. Let's see if we can make another one. Here. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I added that and it went in there beautifully. How often does that happen? Somebody buy me a drink. That was worth it. I'm just teasing. Just teasing. So I am just going to fill this entire space with Swerve. I'll get it. I'll get it. Sorry, Jody. And just have some fun with it. I'm really curious to see what you guys think of this, because I thought it would be much harder than it is. Now, that doesn't mean that the auras aren't challenging me. They definitely are challenging me. See, challenged. But there is no reason not to challenge ourselves. The only way we're going to grow and learn as artists is to be challenged. Come back, little line, come back. Okay. I'm going to add an aura coming this way. So this is drawn behind, although that probably wasn't the best choice. So I can't add any more auras coming over here. Unless I add another one to this. And I could bring that up. Now these great big inked orbs, these are going to look terrific once this is shaded. This whole thing is going to be awesome. All right, let's aura this and aura behind. I think my pen is running out of ink. I'd like to say this was my variable line weight, but it's not. I think my pen has given up. But let's see how far we can get with it. Oh yeah, if you can do a nice, neat job with these, this is very cool, I have to say. It's very cool. Let's see if we can distract from this. Put another one right here, because this empty space right here is making me absolutely crazy. I know some of you other OCD people are going, oh, thank God she put something in there. We know. I understand. I understand that OCD impulse to fill stuff up. Oh my goodness. Stop calling me. I'm busy. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Every time I say that word, I think about Harry Potter. Ridiculous. Who's turning into Snape right now? Let me think. Who's turning into Snape right now? Sorry, it's a Harry Potter reference. I can't help it that I've seen those movies and read those books. I have an 11-year-old. It happens. All right, I need to find a clever way to put one coming in here. So I think I'm just going to aura this. Come around. You see, you can make this do whatever you want, guys. Just start an aura and make it curve whichever way you want and put one in and see what happens. I kind of love this pattern. I've been having a really relaxing time, except for the aura-ing. The aura-ing is hard for me. Come on, pen, you can do it. You can last this pattern out. I'm going to have to take a grand break here in a minute. The babies are coming. All right. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I know. Can you settle down, River? All right. So here, just like in Sand Swirl, we can fill this up with lines. Now, thinking about this, we don't want to fill in with lines from these on top, although we could. But I think visually and shading wise, it's going to be best if we fill this with lines from the element that is on the bottommost tier, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to make these like this. Okay. All right. Just a few more. So you can see here in all of these places where I have got the auras very careful and neat. This creates a very cool pattern. It's not that I can't make these messier ones work for me. I can. I absolutely can. But I just want to point out that if you take your time, you end up with some very cool stuff. And I'm going to have such good shading opportunities from here. All right, so I'm going to draw my next element from here. I think that's going to be my best choice. I'm really enjoying this, so I want to hear from you guys in comments what you think about this. Did you find it relaxing, or did it make you nervous because you weren't sure where you were going to go from here? Now, am I going to take up this space with Swerve? Am I going to do something else with it, or am I going to make this part of this and do ticking in all of this? So I think I want Swerve to be my main focus. Ticking is a cool pattern, and we're going to learn it, but no problem. But I really like, of course, it's organic, so of course I like it. So I'm just going to add a couple of auras to the front to sort of give this space something to do. And then I'm going to go ahead and disrespect this string line. No, I'm just going to hop through it. When you get any lines that are sort of turned the wrong way, the way that you don't want them to, just ink one of these little triangular shapes in there, and you're good to go. Remember to take your time. And I promise, if you will leave a little gap when you lift your pen and have trouble coming down again in the right spot, that will really help you, and you'll find in overall results, they look like little sparkles. And they actually add to the overall effect. Okay, maybe one more. Well, okay. Okay. Let's put another one from this. And sort of make them look like, yeah, I love this pattern. This is a lot of fun. I mean, you really can make it do what you want. I'm kind of excited. I always love finding new organic patterns that I can just sink into and lose my conscious mind and just play. And I think this is going to be a good one for me. And so what did I gain from being afraid of it because of the aura lines? Nothing. Nothing but wasted time. I could have been enjoying this for a long time now. But what I've learned is that you tackle the challenging tangles when you're ready. And rushing doesn't help. You're not required to know everything today or tomorrow or even the next day. Whatever you learn, just learn one thing each day and let that be enough. There is no, extraordinary achievement for how many tangles you learn. There really isn't. And at some point, again, I've said this many times, it's about what you do with the tangles you know more than it is about how many tangles you know. Hopefully that will resonate with some of you. I think most of you are on the right track as far as your attitudes go, as far as, just wanting to learn to improve your craft and yes, great new tangles, but also you guys seem to appreciate the old ones and taking a new look at those. I really appreciate the attitude with which you guys come to work. I wish I could hire all of you. You're awesome. So I'll just put a few more in here. And we'll add a few more here. Taking my time. And I think I'll fill this out with these auras in front. And then let's see. Let's do this. I don't want to get too much smaller, but I guess a few size alterations isn't going to be a bad thing. And I have never drawn this before, so we are all having a fun day with this. Ooh. That is a little interesting as far as one of those little orbs go, but we're going to make it work. Okay. And if you want to stick small ones in there and draw behind with your auras, there's no reason why not. At least as far as I know, there's not. And if there is, we're about to find out what it is. Okay. Once again, taking the element that seems to be on the bottom and using that to fill in the space. I'm kind of in love with this pattern. I kind of think it's freaking awesome. I love it. Okay, let's finish up before the kids get here. I think I'm gonna have to change my pen. I just hate doing that because it makes everything look different. Oh, time's up. Time's up. There's my babies. Hi, babies. Well, the grandbaby break went from about an hour to an hour and a half to 5 or 6. And oh, I got such a heart full of snuggles tonight. It was lovely. However, it's now 11 o'clock or 2300 hours. And yeah, let's get busy. Luckily, you guys don't have to wait all that time. We'll just keep going. Okay, so where was I? Adding more. Now I also had to switch out my pen. That last one finally gave up. And so I'm trying to be careful not to press too much with this other one for fear it'll be juicier. And therefore the changeover will become noticeable. Let's start here. Well, this one has been a little bit sad. It is quite wiggly. I have sort of lost my zenful feeling. I had an argument with my kiddo before bed. It always leaves me so unsettled. I know that arguing is part of life, but I really hate it. I mean, I can be confrontational when I have to be, but that is not my comfort zone. It's not what I like. So I don't like it when he goes to bed angry, but of course I can't stop him from doing that. And he has a right to his anger. I just get tired of being cast in the role of villain, you know. But that's parenting, isn't it, guys? I mean, I think so. Somebody told me once that if I wasn't being mean mom, I wasn't doing my job. I believe that. I believe it. Well, I'm thinking about this space and this space, but while I'm thinking about that, I think I will come back over here. And I think I'll do one back this way. Let me turn this. liked that. Take your time with your little orbs. Make them nice and neat. Make your highlight nice and neat. It makes such a big difference in how polished they look. This kind of thing is a really good addition to a tile. It brings both the drama and I think it adds a sort of elegance to what you're doing. Something about the inked orb with the highlight is just really effective, at least for me. It's always been an extremely attractive thing that I see people do in Zentangle art. And so I'm always sort of, I sort of always like that. Sometimes the tile needs to dance, so it'll speak to me. All right. That's one reason you will see me turn my tile around and around. As I do, I let my eyes wander from here to there, sort of seeing where I feel I need to add, where I feel it's finished, where I might start a new element, where I don't want to start them. Goodness. Yep, Thursday night in the big town. Okay, I think I will encroach this one time here. I don't want to have to work too hard on ticking. And I think you guys will like it. It's pretty easy. Whether or not it is sinful remains to be seen. See what I did there? I have had so much fun with this. I'm already starting to relax again, which is good. I hate it. It is hard for me to sleep when everybody's upset. I wish whoever was driving around out there would cut it out. All right, let me ink this. That'll be all of the encroaching I do. So I think, as far as the elements go, I think this one is going to be beneath these two. So I'm just going to continue these lines here. I think I'll ink this. And see if I've got any areas of interest here. I think I can add a little bit there. I love how these sort of roll off each other and do their own thing. Sorry, my conscious mind is trying to figure out the answer to an issue I'm having with my kiddo. We have been working over the last year for him to try to do chores and earn an allowance. This is a very normal thing for kids. And, it teaches the value of money, teaches the value of hard work, which is even more important. And so we have been trying to do that. And almost immediately, the issue I had was he was never satisfied with what he got, even though he acted up and had the wrong attitude about doing the work. He still expected not only to be compensated well, he intended to have immediate raises for nothing just because he did it. And he continued to have a bad attitude about it. And so I think I may have mentioned to you guys back a while that he was, demanding higher compensation for his allowance and not being willing to do the work without complaining and being reminded all the time. And so I just told him, that I didn't need his help, that I could accomplish all of those things. And yeah, it was hard for me, but I could do it. I did not need his help. I was trying to allow him to earn some money that he could use as he wanted. And if he didn't want that enough to do a good job and have a good attitude, then we wouldn't do the allowance. And so we went a week and I did everything. And the next week he decided he was going to help and he did want his allowance. So, that was fine. And he has done a bit better this week about doing the work that he's supposed to. But every day that he does something, he is off about this. He gets that he doesn't get enough. He works hard. He does all this. He doesn't do anything. He takes out the trash, and I have to remind him about it constantly. Now, he would say he washes the dishes too. He doesn't. He washes his dishes. Yeah. He's a lazy kid. And he gets so angry because he wants so much junk, stuff. And the money that I give him is immediately wasted on, okay, that's my perspective on the wasting. But, it's the right perspective. Come on. Still, I want him to learn how to work hard and save money and earn the things that he wants. And he refuses to understand that. And I don't know if the refusal to understand is intentional on his part or if he's just, being mean or selfish or whatever. Sometimes it seems that way. But he's a good kid. And for the most part, and so when the kids came over today, he was told that, for about an hour and a half, if he would help entertain them, and they're a handful, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, just turned 4-year-old, they are a handful. And so I told him I would give him $20 to help me for a couple of hours today to entertain them. It was worth it to me. And he had been complaining earlier that he didn't earn enough to get anything. Well, the reason he doesn't earn enough to get anything is because it flows through his fingers like water. He does not understand how to save. So, and I'm doing something wrong here, and I can't figure out what it is. I mean, I have let him know multiple times when, I always try to let him know when he's not headed in the right direction, attitude-wise or understanding-wise, and I'm always trying to be gentle with it. But of course, sometimes gentle doesn't work, does it? And sometimes their angry hatefulness demands a little more honesty and a little more forthrightness and a little more firmness. And so so they ended up being here instead of an hour to an hour and a half. They ended up being here 5 hours. And he said, Mari said that, he deserved more than that. Well, it wasn't that I disagreed with that, because he did a fairly good job keeping them busy until I was ready to feed them dinner and lay down with them for a while and watch something while they were sort of winding down. And when they left, he goes, now this is how much you're going to give me, and this is what I did. And again, even the amount that he was talking about, I didn't necessarily disagree with. It was the way he was talking to me about it that I had a problem with. And so I sent him in to get his bath, and when he got out, I told him I wanted to talk to him, and he came in, and I said, look, honey, it's not that I disagree that you did a good job today, and it's not that I disagree that you did extra work and should be compensated for that. What I disagree with was the way you talked to me about it. That if you had just sat down and said, hey, Cindy, I want to talk about this. I don't think it's right that this was the deal, and I went above and beyond, and I think I deserve more. If he had had that conversation with me, we would not have had an issue. But that is not the conversation we had. Not even a little bit, not even close. It was very angry and very disrespectful and very demanding. And so, I tried to let him get his bath and calm down, because he made me angry, and he manages to do that a lot. And I really have to be careful not to deal with him from a place of anger, because he has a tendency to push until you explode on him. And I don't like doing that. It's a trait that he has that I don't think he has control of. It's something that it's a family trait that I've seen in others. And so, I try not to be too rough on him, but I do want him to learn to step up and be better. And so I tried to calmly explain. And it's like what I said to him went right in one ear, out the other ear, and he went back to bed and was angrier because I said I wasn't going to give him anything. I said, no, honey, that's not what I said. I said, I don't want to reward you because of the disrespectful way you spoke to me. I never said I was not going to. Well, now you're probably not. And I'm like, just go to bed. Just go to bed. It's so frustrating. I don't know how you parents have done it. I don't think I can. I don't think I'm going to survive the teenage years. I'm freaking out. I'm too old for this shit. Sorry. I'm going to have to edit that out because I use profanity. So, somebody, was it Fran Tangles, posted a story to their, they posted a story on their Instagram with the grandmother and the granddaughter both showing their tiles from one of the lessons, and it was the best thing I've ever seen. Thank you guys so much for posting that where I could see it and tagging me. I reposted it to my story. And so if you guys, I don't know if it's gone now. I don't understand this Instagram crap either. I need a tutorial too. Okay, we're almost done over here. I love the way I put extra ones in over here and made them really orby. If I could make that a word today, that would be awesome. Thank you guys. I need a word today to distract me from my woes. I know this is part of parenting. I know it's very normal, and I understand that these 2 times shall pass, but geez, I'm too old for this stuff. Yeah, that was the word. I know you guys are following me. You're always thinking what I'm thinking before I'm thinking it, which is a little bit scary for you guys. You accuse me of reading my mind, or reading your minds. Most of the time I think y'all are doing that. Cracking me up. Okay, I think I need one more here. The question is, where am I going to put it? What if we did... a little tiny one right there. Go small or go home. Just kidding. That one sort of looks like he's been left out of the family fun. This looks like a crazy family, doesn't it? All right. Just going to round a few spots. Because I can, right? I don't think I want to add orbs on this because it's got its own, and I don't want to distract from those. But a tiny bit of rounding here and there on the outside. Not going to hurt anything, right? And hear me, Cindy, I said a tiny bit. Tiny. Yeah, that looks good. Make sure the camera's on. It is. Paranoia, thy name is Cindy. Yeah. That's about it. All right. Simba is puppy dreaming again. I think I'll leave that one. And we'll put a few more over here. Remember, for rounding on small areas, you might want to use your 0.1 or your 0.05. Use a smaller nib than you used to draw with, or the same one, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to stop talking because I don't make any sense anymore. Oh, I have exciting news. So my friend, Nadine Roller, she is a CZT in Germany, in Cologne, Deutschland, and she has designed a new tangle called African, and we are going to be doing that, and she has agreed to let us use her step out video and incorporate it into one of my videos where she will step it out for you and I will do the tile with you. It's going to be so much fun. We're both really excited about it. So I have to ask her if she has a German version of this of her video, because that would be awesome. Okay, I'll stop talking. Yeah. Okay, ticking. Which way do I want to do that? I love this. This is so fun. I can't wait to shade it. All right, ticking. Let's just put it in like this. Okay, ticking is a grid tangle. It is based on these little rice shapes, and in the step out, JJ LaBarbera has little, she did the step out on grid paper, basically, with a square grid. Okay, so Hers all turned out very nice and neat. And you can certainly pencil in a square grid. I'm not going to bother to do that because it's me and I don't have to. Okay, but what I am going to do is start my grid over here on this line so I can sort of get started. And I'm going to, I'm going to start with my little rice shapes. Now, if you're going to freehand this, Cindy, what you're going to want to do is try to match the size of these rice shapes and make them as consistent as possible. Okay. And now we're going to want to come over here and do another column of these. And this is where I'm going to run into problems. So I'm going to be a weenie, I think. And I'm going to just pencil in some straight lines. And these should be swallowed up by the tangling. We shouldn't have to erase any of these. All right, so I feel a little bit better about my life now. So, and you can do them, let's see, approximately like this. So just a square grid, right? I might as well make it easy on myself if I've gone this far, right? So mine are more rectangular, but I'm not worried about it. And this is going to keep my size consistent. Now this tangle incorporates negative space in the form of these rice shapes. We don't do anything to decorate them, and when it's shaded, these are stark white, or in my case gray, or highlighted with a charcoal pencil. And so it's going to be pretty dynamic, I think, when we're done. But it's also fairly flexible, I think. So you'll see what I mean. The rest of this is really simple. But I think it's going to be a really interesting change from what we've got going on in the wild, wild west over here. Okay, they might see part of that. Okay, those got a little wide apart, but we'll be all right. Okay, so the next step, pretty simple. We're going to draw these curved lines. Just a slight curve. It doesn't need to be much. JJ said she named this ticking because it reminded her of fabric ticking. Don't ask me to explain what that is. I don't know. It's some way of gathering or doing something with fabric that I don't understand. Okay. So all the way across, right? Ooh, that is not a square. Well, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. I don't know what is up with my stroke tonight, but I'm just going to let it do what it wants because I don't care. I hate arguing with my baby. It just really brings me down. All right, so this is not the end, but it is a great start. So the next thing you do, aura. Let's aura. So just straight line or curved line auras all the way up and down. Fill the space. Preferably consistently. Maybe if I start like this. Maybe not. Like I said, it doesn't always go my way, guys. It's what you do with what you get. That's the main thing. And 8 times out of 10, it turns out really well for me. And that's pretty good odds. Except when I'm RAing, in which case, no. Well, I did not mean to make this so thick, but it's all right. I need to slow down on the rest of this. Keep my stroke consistent. Even if I didn't do it right the first time, I'm going to do it right this time. Taking my time. Resetting my tile when I need a better hand position. But keeping that stroke consistent. This is one of the hardest concepts that I have in Zentangle, is consistency. One of the largest frustrations in drawing for me is the fact that I cannot do it the same way twice. I mean, I can, and particularly I thrive on the organic stuff. And I think the reason for that is because I don't have to do the same thing twice. And auraing is such an important part of Zentangle, and so it's so important for me to practice, but oh, it is frustrating. And so you shakers, you're going to understand where I'm coming from, but that doesn't mean we don't need to practice. I practice all the time. This is extremely challenging. Take your time when you fill these in. You don't want your lines to encroach on your white space here, or the space that will be white. Or I might shade it. We'll see. So I heard back from my people in Australia and New Zealand. Thank you. And from my people in South America. So I want to hear from my people in India and Africa. I know you guys are out there. And I want to give a special shout out to the carrying place in Canada. Much love to you guys. I know I have a couple of people there that watch. We love you there. Hang in there, guys. Hang in there. Take those deep breaths. Put a pen in your hand. Believe that this can change things for you. I know it sounds silly, but it can. It can bring you to a place of confidence and relaxation that you have not experienced before. And it is going to click on your creativity like never before. That is going to be a good feeling for you. I don't know what is going on with my voice. I guess it's allergies. It's springtime. Everything is sprouting out there, and I am sneezing like crazy. Seems like I sneezed all winter too. I don't know what that's about. All right, so this is ticking, and see, it's a good counterpoint for this other. It's not. It's very straight up and down kind of a thing. So let's start to shade. Oh, I'm dying to get to the shading here. So let's do ticking before I lose my mind and then we'll go play with Swerve, because I'm already so in love with that. So I am going to shade initially down one side of each of these, and then I'll double check and see where we're at and decide, you know, if this is one of those situations where we want to shade both sides or if this is good as is. And I am choosing to shade on the left because that is the side I tend to shade on. That doesn't mean always, but usually. And that makes it much easier when I always shade the same way. It makes it much easier for me to not get lost. So just, you know, something to think about. I know a lot of artists that put a little dot or something in one corner to let them know where their light source is so they know where they're going to shade. It's another way to do it. I just like to say that I shade on the left typically, and you know, anything else that comes after that, we'll see. I think this is going to work well. Stop this real quick so it doesn't rattle. Oh, I'm excited already. All right, so where's my tortillon? I want to shade this just real quickly. Okay, so for now, I think I'll leave this here. Let's shade Swerve. We're going to hit all of the spots where the new ones start. Any of these spots where we've got a new element spawning, forgive the term, I'm going to add shading or graphite. Anywhere the lines are perpendicular to each other, those are more shading spots. Now I sort of screwed myself on the shading over here, but that's going to be fine. Perpendicular lines here. Okay. Perpendicular lines. It's a really good place to start with this, is perpendicular lines, wherever they meet. And there's going to be a bunch of them, Depending on how much swirling and turning around you did, there's going to be a bunch of spots. That's what's going to make this so fun and so dynamic, and I am so excited to shade this. I cannot wait to work this really hard with the shading. The only thing I'm really regretting right now is how tired I am and how early this is going to need to be done tomorrow. But I've still got to edit this, so maybe I can really give it a good going over before I get done. I wish I didn't need my iPad for that. I might manage to get a members video done, but so I was asked by a couple of people I saw in comments, and then I had a direct message from one of y'all on Instagram asking what the difference is between a channel membership and a subscriber. Okay, so on YouTube there's the ability to subscribe to a channel. What that basically means is that the channel will pop up in your home feed, you know, the page that you get when you log into YouTube, where it suggests videos for you, right? And it will, based on the things that you've watched and liked before, it will suggest videos. And when you're a subscriber to a channel, then the likelihood of those videos being suggested to you is higher. Now, if you always want to be notified if a channel is going to put out videos for example, if you always want to know when I am putting out a video, and that's always a good idea, particularly if we plan some last minute live streams or anything like that, and you want to be notified about that ahead of time, then it's always a good idea to be a subscriber and to hit the notification bell. The notification bell is what's going to send you an email or notify you however YouTube gets in touch with you. They will let you know that the channel that you are following has dropped a new video, and they'll show you the thumbnail and the title and all of that. And so then you can go to YouTube and get that video and watch it. So that's the importance of the notification bell. Subscriber just means that you are telling YouTube that you're interested in the content that channel puts out, and that you would like to be notified about it if you have hit the notification bell. Okay, so channel memberships are a complete different thing. If there is a channel that you really love and you want to support them financially on a monthly basis, then you can join as a channel member. And generally speaking, there are perks for channel members. They have special icons by their name when they comment in chat and in live chat, and on my channel there are three tiers of membership, where and again, this is a tough subject for me. I don't want to end my membership program to redo the perks. However, that's what needs to happen because I have not been meeting my channel obligations to you guys. And the ones of you that have stuck with me, you guys know this and you're aware. But I'm concerned about my new members feeling like they've been cheated. I don't want to do that. So I really need to end the program and redo the perks and all of that and try to make them something I can sustain during this project. And I had thought last year that I would be able to handle the once monthly thing. But the bottom line is, as long as I'm doing these videos every single day, I just don't have time to do anything else. It overwhelms me. And so I am feeling really bad about that. It's something that weighs heavily on my mind. And so I probably will be going in and redoing the memberships. And that means that some of you that have been members a while are going to lose your membership status. But of course, it's not like they're paying you for it or anything. So, I just wanted you guys to know that's what's up. And last year, or as the membership stand now, I had, let's see, for For the bottom tier, I can't remember. Maybe I was trying to upload unedited videos for the first tier, and that wasn't working because of the upload process taking so long. And if the ones you get were an hour and a half, then imagine how long the unedited ones are and how long that would take to upload. So that wasn't really tenable. And then I wanted for my second tier to do Zia videos, which didn't happen because they just take so long, and the editing process is ridiculous for Zia videos because they can take 3 or 4 hours of work, and then once the editing process is crazy on that. So that's sort of where I ended up. Now, members, I would love to have some Zoom classes with you where just a few of us are together, since I don't have very many of you anymore. I would love for us to just be able to meet together one-on-one and see, what you're working on, what questions you have, that kind of thing. So I'm trying to figure something out, and I haven't ended it because I don't want you guys to think I'm not appreciative, because I really am, but I also want to give you the value for which that you are. I mean, you've been supporting me now a long time, especially Nancy and Marcy, that I'm thinking about, that I've seen recently. And I really want you to know how much your loyalty has meant to me. I don't want to take advantage of that. I want to give you, what you're worth, and that is a lot to me. You members are worth a lot to me. And it's not because of the money. It's because of the attitude of, I'm going to support you and your channel. That's meaningful to me as a creator, and I love you guys. You're awesome. So this is what I'm thinking about. I wanted you guys to know this, and to answer that question about what the difference is between subscribing and being a channel member. Channel member is something much more. So anyway, I hope that answered the questions and gave you something to think about. Gave me something to think about some more. I need to stop stressing about things, but I worry about being honorable and trustworthy and all that other crap. I can't believe I just said that. Honorable and trustworthy and all that other crap. Oh, y'all believe it though, don't you? Look how much fun this is. I can't wait to blend. Wow. This is going to be so fun. All right. Grab the tortillon. Let's go to Crazy Town. Mono Zero will have to visit in some of these spots. This is a labor of love and patience. Just relax and enjoy it. I'm going to put some extra shading here where these overlap. I really want to make a significant difference in color here. And this, is that my string line right there? All right, back to the tortillon. Now remember, I'm working on a gray tile, so I not only have these shading opportunities, I have highlighting opportunities coming as well. So I'm really, really pumped up to see how this turns out. Look how cool these are. And I may have to brighten some of these up, remove a little bit of the graphite. And I need to continue that down here. You know, the middle of the night might be the ideal time to make these videos. Everybody's asleep, nobody's calling me, nobody's driving by, except for occasionally. You know, there's always those crazy people. I'm just kidding. Oh, sometimes. I had the best mom ever, but she was very prim and proper. And I mean, not ever judgmental. I mean, that wasn't her. Well, not really. She didn't mean to be. You know, part of that was the generation she lived in. And, you know, it was a prim and proper time, I guess. She was born in the 30s, the 1930s, and grew up during Depression and World War II and all of that stuff. And so she experienced a lot in her life. And so you really can't argue with somebody like that. You know, they've done their time for sure. Anyway, so she always used to be so prim about everything. And, you know, she would have friends that you know, what she looked at as you know, out there, you know, people of color and people with their own ideas and people to do crazy things. And, you know, she was an avid churchgoer, and I'm not dissing any of that, mind you. That's how I was raised, was in church, and we were there all the time, 4 nights a week or 4 days a week. And, you know, so I can't deny that there is value and worth in that atmosphere and in the belief systems that they share, if people don't get them all messed up in their heads and, you know, go nuts. There's too much of that going around right now. Everybody just needs to calm down. Just, you know, sit down, have a glass of beer or wine and chill out, or coffee. Just chill out. Draw. Tangle your troubles away. I have a shirt like that. It's really pretty. I believe in tangling your troubles away. Do I want to mess with that line? I do not. And I will lift out this border line at some point. Maybe. All right. We're almost there for our first go round. I had so much fun with this. All right, so one of the things I think I want to do over here is shade this edge here. And normally I wouldn't put graphite over the black, but this is kind of a, you know, one of those situations where, you know, you go either way. So I'm really going to darken that, blend that up. Remember, if you have trouble getting too much graphite, start at the outer edge where there isn't as much, and do your blending there, and then do the bottom where all the graphite is. You'll have better results that way, I think. Okay. Oops, I missed a spot up here. I heard about 5 of you were yelling at me the other last night. or yesterday. Good job. Good job. Keep me straight, guys. Keep me straight. All right. Now, can we play with the highlighting now? I think we can. White charcoal pencil. So for these guys, what I'm going to want is sort of the apex of these curves, right? Sort of like here. Now, this is why I want to take some of these string lines out. It's because they're going to mix with my graphite and or with my charcoal, and I don't want that. But just to brighten up some of the parts and to accentuate the darkness in others. Okay. And again, I need to spend some time erasing before I get too much of this in. Now the other thing I'm going to do is remove these lines here and dab a little white on those. Also, like this. I can't tell if you can see this or not. Maybe. I'm just stroking in a little bit here at the top of the curve. It's not going to be just real noticeable, but it's going to accentuate that curve look. And I probably will add more shading on each side. Okay, so this is the way I'm going to handle it. White charcoal at the tops, shading around the edges, highlight the parts you think it needs, darken the parts you think it needs. There is all kinds of fun to be had with this pattern. Both of these patterns, actually. I mean, really, there's lots of things you can do. I am just really in love with Swerve, I have to say. So I hope you guys liked this. Let me know in comments what you thought. Did you like it? Was it too organic for you? Or was it cool? All right, guys, thank you so much for being with me today. And I am going to see you back here tomorrow.